Hello, and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host, Ilene, and on this week's program, our guests, Ron and Diane Farb, co-founders of the nonprofit Climb for Cancer Foundation, shared their mission of assisting cancer patients through their many programs and unique events, opportunities for all of us to be a part of the Climb for Cancer Foundation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I am delighted to introduce my guests, Ron and Diane Farb, co-founders of the Climb for Cancer Foundation. And Diane and Ron, it's wonderful to have you here once again, going back to many years when I was just starting the Ilene Silverman Show, and you were my guests, and you were introducing Climb for Cancer Foundation to me, and now it's just grown over these many years. You've come back one other time, and I'm just very honored that you're here right now again.
Well, thank you for having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be with you again, Eileen.
Thank you. And I want you to first tell us a second about yourselves, just so everybody gets to know you. How did you? Okay, Diane, take the lead, my friend.
So, I am a lawyer by training. I was a lawyer for the University of Florida for 16 years and left the general counsel's office almost 7 years ago. It's hard to believe.
Wow.
And I went into research administration and really enjoying the work.
Excellent. Good. And what about you, Ron?
After school, I went into the military. I became a military aviator, flew in Vietnam, and followed that with a 43-year sales career.
Right.
And now I'm retired, but working harder than I've ever worked with this foundation.
I understand, because and I was even thinking about this, and we sort of chatted about it. You know, Diane meeting you, and then you talking about mountain climbing, and that took me aback the first time I met you. But now I've come to understand that the Climb for Cancer is a metaphor for so many things in life, and so many ways that you help people climb the battle of cancer.
Exactly.
Yes. And so how did this idea begin?
Sure. So I was asked by friends of mine, Dorothy and Hamilton Jordan, who started a camp for children with cancer in Georgia called Camp Sunshine, to volunteer at the camp for a week. And I went up, and we had a cabin of 10 7 to 9-year-old boys, all with cancer. And it changed my life forever, very profoundly. And at the same time, my sister was diagnosed with cancer. So every year I would go up to camp, write that personal check, volunteer that 1 week, but I wanted to do more.
Right.
And I found a way of raising money through my hobby, which was climbing mountains.
Yeah.
So I started climbing all over the world, and
you have quite a record. You've climbed what?
I've climbed 5 of the 7 summits.
Right.
The highest on Africa 7 times, Mount Kilimanjaro. The highest on South America, Aconcagua twice. Denali, the highest on North America once. Mount Elbrus, which is the highest in Europe,
Right.
in the country of Georgia. And Everest in 2005, and other mountains in South America and the United States.
And I can remember following some of your climbs on your website as Diane, your ground force, was posting where they were and how you were ascending.
Yes.
But it's pretty incredible.
Well, it's a great vehicle for fundraising, and no one else was doing it. So,
No, I gotta say this is an original.
Yes.
But it's encompassing so much more. I mean, you started with a few programs, and then it has grown to me to encompass a lot of areas of cancer-focused programs to help patients, to help caregivers, to help those that work with them. How would you describe that mission, Diane?
So our mission is patient-centered support. We like to look for underserved needs that either aren't covered by insurance or by other large organizations that focus on cancer. And we found that the families need financial assistance. Many parents have to either quit their jobs. One of the parent, if they don't live here in our community, may have to actually move here
Right.
during their
Change
child's
their
treatment.
whole lifestyle. Right.
Change their whole lifestyle. So we created a program called Harriet's Helping Hand, named for Ron's sister. And it provides gas cards and lodging and food vouchers and Uber rides to cancer families who need assistance so that they can get to treatment.
Right. And that is vital and gives them peace of mind. And we're going to take a quick break, but of course we have lots more to discuss. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about the Climb for Cancer Foundation with Diane and Ron Farb. And thank you, Diane, for talking about Harriet's Helping Hands, which I always remember because, as you said, it is named in memory of your own sister, Ron. And it's so sad that she lost her battle with cancer, which probably in one way just moved you forward with more determination to help other people.
Without a doubt.
Yes, I
Yes.
understand. And so tell us more about the other programs that are part of your foundation.
Sure. As we mentioned, we are not a research-centered foundation. Even though we've raised over $3 million, that's a drop in the bucket when you talk about research. And we realized that you have to take care of the financial, the emotional, and the spiritual needs that these families have. So we look for programs that are going to provide that kind of assistance and relief for the families.
Correct.
Especially during COVID, we found that when the Ronald McDonald House closed for 7 months and the Winn-Dixie Hope Lodge closed permanently,
Right.
these families had nowhere to stay. And we partnered with the Sweetwater Branch Inn and provided, I believe, between the inn and a few other hotels, over 550 room nights for the families coming
Extraordinary.
here for treatment.
Right. I mean, and it's so necessary.
Very
Oh,
necessary.
absolutely.
Patients were sleeping in their cars.
I mean, there's enough to deal with.
Right.
And then that,
Right.
Yeah, if they can't afford to get the treatment and don't have a place to stay when they're here, what good are all the novel drug therapies?
exactly, right.
So that's what we look for. And we have lots of other programs that we're very proud of. One program is called the B. Diane Farb Health
Yes, I
Education
know.
Scholarship. We give scholarships to cancer survivors going into the healthcare field. And I believe we've given out at least 24
At the University of
scholarships.
Florida.
Well done.
And now Santa Fe as well.
Oh,
So and-
important, and you're thinking about young people.
Absolutely, and we're
In their
so
early
excited
careers.
that two of the people that we've given a leg up, one of them is now cancer-free, and she is the Pharm D in pediatric oncology at Shands. Another one
so-
is working in OBGYN with an oncology focus. So we get to see that, because of our help,
Right.
they're now
Helping
medical
others,
professionals
helping
helping others.
Right. You must see so many, I know you have so many stories, so many full circle moments of lives you have touched.
Yes.
And you have actually many more programs. You have a very good website. Thank you, Diane. And very thorough. So tell us a few more. Enlighten us.
Well, we have the
about-
Butterfly Connection,
Yes.
which we started years ago, which provides patients and their families an opportunity to go to the Butterfly Rainforest at the Museum of Natural History free of charge. It's such a great place for them to go and
It is,
relax and recenter themselves.
And I remember when you started that, the Butterfly Connection, being part of, as a volunteer with the museum, and the extraordinary, my perception, what a great gift for people. Just a little respite from all that is happening in their lives.
Exactly.
I mean, and as we've said, there's no doubt that we all know or have loved ones, or it just seems cancer is everywhere.
Eileen, I like to say it's the modern day plague, and I tell people all the time, if you asked everybody on game day at the swamp to raise their hand if they haven't been touched by cancer, nobody could.
Right, because
So,
everybody has.
Everybody has.
And the word is just, it's frightening.
Yes.
That, I know that we talk of heart disease and #1 killer, but just the word cancer, it just sends a chill over everyone. And I know we're doing better with treatments, but it's still so frightening. And so the fact that you're there to sort of be the backbone for people in many ways, it's just really extraordinary.
Thank you.
And we're going to take another quick break. Sure. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're discussing the Climb for Cancer Foundation with Diane and Ron Farb. And with all the many programs you have going on, then there are the events that support all of these. So tell us a little bit more about what happens in a year. First, there's the mountain climbing, but it's taken another direction, right, Ron?
Yes, age has caught up with me, so I'm no
okay.
longer doing the big mountains, but I now take groups on adventure vacations all over the world.
Right, we can check off our bucket list through you.
Exactly. COVID certainly put an end to that for 3 years, but we're back. We did a wonderful trip to Iceland back last May, and we have some exciting trips coming up in 24.
Right. Those are all wonderful options.
Yes, they are.
And they're all on our website.
I know. I'm at Africa 2024.
Yes.
And then other ways that you reach out to the community that we can be a part of things.
So we also have community events throughout the year.
Exactly.
We have a new one coming up next month. It's called El Swampatan. It's at the Knot Climbing Gym, and basically you climb the equivalent of El Capitan in a 24-hour period. And they are generously donating all the proceeds to the Climb for Cancer Foundation.
Yes. I mean, and really, it's so wonderful. It's just the two of you, There's something wonderful about working with a nonprofit that's just so local and personal, and that all the proceeds are going back to these programs, and there's just you 24/7 working to make it happen.
Yeah, we're a mom and pop operation.
I know
for
you
sure.
truly are, but with big arms and hugs, you're making it happen. And what about your run? I know that happens every year in October.
Yeah, so we have the Hogtown 5K Beer Run, and this coming year it'll be October 14th at Hale Plantation, and we get about 500 runners, and it's just great fun. It's great fun.
How much does that maybe raise?
We usually raise about $40,000 for
Excellent.
that run.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yes.
And then there's still more.
There's the Gator Mountain Challenge.
Yes, this I thought was incredible.
So we have a wonderful relationship with 3 of the pre-health organizations at the university, and I designed an event called the Gator Mountain Challenge, and it's a team event going up and down the stadium steps.
Yes.
And the kids just love it, and they really embrace the fundraising. And this past year they raised $16,500. We had 31 teams. We hope this year to open it up not only to the pre-health organizations, but to other organizations at UF and Santa Fe and the community possibly. And we'd love to have a full 64 team bracket,
Oh, wow.
like March Madness, and double that fundraising.
I
But
think you could do that.
it's a great event, and the kids realize that the metaphor of climbing through
Exactly.
the obstacles of the disease, and every time they say, this is so hard, they think about the mountains that these children climb every day of their lives battling cancer.
Exactly, and that just pushes you forward. But you're right. It just clicks in your mind and makes you want to do something.
Absolutely.
And that's why. And I know businesses. You collaborate. Businesses have reached out to you to host events, to do different events. Throughout the year. What are some of the other ones, Diane?
Yeah, we have some great community partnerships. So the Kendra Scott store here at Butler Plaza did an event for us back in March or April. And they came to us with the event. Same thing with the Knot. They came to us with this fundraising idea. And we just get
They
a lot
know
of
about
community
you.
support.
Right, I understand, and I think that's really exceptional. Throughout these many years, and when you go on your website, this really was something I saw. Well, you're part of the Amazing Give, which
Yes.
will be
Yes.
back next April 2024. I think April 25th this time, and Motivation Monday.
Yes.
And Giving Tuesday.
Yes.
See, I was reading the
It goes on and
website.
on. It goes on, and we're always open for donations.
Yes, that's true.
There is
And-
no shortage of need
No.
when you're talking about cancer, especially with the children. We try to maximize fundraising as much as we
Right.
can.
Because no matter what, the need exists and grows.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well said. And we're going to take another quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about the Climb for Cancer Foundation with Diane and Ron Farb. And I know you have many programs that you fund, but another one in particular, Diane, that we wanted to know about. Talk about that, dealing with fertility issues.
So we have we help fund the Onco Fertility Program at UF Health, and this provides opportunities for adolescents and young adults to learn about how to preserve their reproductive abilities. Radiation and chemotherapy can damage their ability to have children later in life.
Right.
And so they can at least learn what is available to them so that they can preserve their ability to have children.
Very important. And such peace of mind.
Yes.
And Ron, talking about when we say peace of mind, the climb, the metaphor of going through all that treatment, there are other ways that you help to ease that passage for people. Talk about that too.
Sure, we have a program, for example, at Wilmot Gardens, beautiful gardens near the hospital, with a greenhouse as well. And families can go and work in the garden and work in the greenhouse, and putting your hands in dirt is a stress reliever.
Yes.
They lead such stressful lives, and this is, again, another place of repose. And it's all part of palliative care, which is what we're all about.
Right, I understand that. And explain that. What does palliative care mean?
Yeah, it's actually misunderstood.
I know.
A lot of people think palliative care means end of life. And basically what palliative care means is preserving and improving the quality of life while they're going through
Right.
this ordeal.
Well, that would describe a lot of your programs.
Yes,
That does
exactly. Exactly.
it helps me to understand it.
Yeah, there's a definite relationship between art and music and dance and gardening and what have you.
And nature.
That
And
is in nature. That's stress relieving.
yes, and people wouldn't know how to access these opportunities without someone to show the way, such as Climb for Cancer Foundation. And then how do people find you and you them? How does that relationship begin?
So when a patient needs financial assistance, they're being treated at UF Health Shands, they can reach out to their social worker, either inpatient or outpatient clinic, and the social worker can help connect them with the resources that we provide.
Okay. And when you talk about UF Health Shands, I know you have a strong partnership.
We do. When we first started, we tried to support many cancer centers, but there's just so much need right here in our own community
Agree.
that we now give 100% of our donations to UF Health. And each donation is earmarked to a certain program. And again, we look for those underserved needs that the big guys are not going to get down to. So
Right, but are so important.
Vital.
And as you stress and have said, all the proceeds raised through all these many events we've talked about go to those earmarked programs to help people.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So what are the many ways then we can give?
Well, we take online donations
Okay, I love knowing
24/7
it.
on our website as climbforcancerfoundation.org.
Okay,
They can get involved in our community events,
Right.
support us coming to the run, come out and do Gator Mountain Challenge, or come out and cheer on Gator Mountain Challenge.
right. And you have a great board of directors. It's up on the website. Lots of fine people that have been supporting you, and lots of people that support you in this community. But you need more, because the
Always
need
need
is
more.
growing all the time.
Absolutely. Well, we are blessed with a good board, and the support from the community is phenomenal. This is a very philanthropic community,
I agree.
and we have some very loyal donors, and helped us reach that $3 million mark.
Well, I think you have a lot to be proud of, and I know I know you're just moving forward.
Yes.
Yes.
20 years on, we're still moving forward.
You are, Diane and Ron, and you've made such a difference. I'm sure you have so many stories tucked away in your hearts. You meet people and then they share with you, years ago this happened, you did this, they move forward in their lives. But you're always giving back, you're always paying it forward. I congratulate you on the
Thank you.
entire and everyone involved behind you, all those volunteers and people in the events and everyone that's, in this giving community that helps Climb for Cancer Foundation succeed.
Yes.
Keep going.
I know, Michelle.
And thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Ilene.
sharing so
Thank
much
you.
good knowledge with us. And we're so glad that you tuned in, and I hope you'll join us next time. Take care.